what did the change from one every duty station to blackjack wholesaling? When did that happen?
Well, so I did that house that made me $43,000. And then I moved. So I was looking for another deal in Maryland. And then I got a duty station change down to Pensacola. So I ran out of time in Maryland to flip a second house, and I went to Pensacola, and it took me about 6 months to find my next house. I almost quit, actually. It was frustrating. I had already done one, and I wanted to prove to myself that it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a one-time thing. So I eventually found another house in Pensacola. I fixed that one up. I made $45,000 on that. And at that moment, I realized this is not a fluke. I can do this over and over again. And I just kind of wanted to step on the gas and go faster. And at that time, I started listening to a lot of podcasts. I was reading books about real estate. I was basically consuming anything that I could. I was on Bigger Pockets, free forums, stuff like that, just asking questions and learning more. And I started seeing all these people that had success at larger scale. So I was listening to Justin Williams' podcast. It was called House Flipping HQ. And he said he's doing like 100 houses a year. And I was doing one a year. And I was buying maybe one rental a year. So at that point, I said, well, and he said on those shows that he couldn't even screw in a light bulb. Like, he's not handy. He's hiring other people, and he has systems. And so as an engineer, I was really interested in systems and process. And I realized I was running around everywhere. I was going to Lowe's. I was going to Home Depot. I was putting lockbox on. I was turning on the utilities. When the contractor didn't show up, I was tiling the floor. I was doing the electrical work. Like, I was doing anything, whatever it took to get the job done, on time, on budget, all that stuff. And I was realizing that I wasn't spending any time with my family. Like, I was doing all this for my family. I wanted to build this company. I wanted to spend time with my kids, and I wanted to become wealthy. And to me, wealthy was I can do what I want, when I want, with who I want. And that's it. Like, I get all this time, freedom, and independence. And so I went on this mission to figure out how to flip 12 houses in a year. I said, if I can do one a year, why can't I do 12? This guy's doing 100. I should be able to do one a month. And I didn't know how. And that's when they came out with this coaching program called 7-Figure Flipping. And so I took $25,000 from the profits from that job, and I put it towards my education, which is a very long story. Like, I didn't want to. I was very cheap. I never spent $1 before that. I literally had a library card. I wouldn't even buy a book on Amazon or from the bookstore. I would wait 2 or 3 months till the book was available at the library, and then I would pick it up. And so this was a huge leap and a huge jump for me. But that investment changed everything. That's when I said, I'm going to start this company. Before that, I was doing these houses in my own name. I was flipping houses in my own name. I had never wholesaled a house. I had done 2 houses, 2 flips before that. And so that was the catalyst to everything. That created the business that we did 67 houses in the next 8.5 months. And I flipped 12, and I wholesaled like 55 houses. And it was just about getting around those people and seeing what's possible. Just realizing that, one a year is not that's like entry level. It's not a business. I was working nonstop all the time, over and over and over again. So it was a totally change, like a framework change of my thought process and my mentality. Getting in a room of people that were millionaires, that were making millions of dollars per year, and they weren't on their phone all the time. They weren't on their computer all the time. They had a team that was running stuff for them and with them. So it just showed me what was possible. So joining that mastermind and coaching program really is what the catalyst was for me to start going past one a year.